Hey everybody, and welcome to Northern Kentucky Community Action Commission's Action News. My name is Katrina Bowman Thomas, and I am your executive director. And we are back. I know it's been a while. We haven't been here, but we are back, and we are excited to share with you about all of our programs and services that we offer right here in this community. We have an exciting show for you on today. First up, you're going to hear from Chris Brown. She is an advocate for equity in this community, and she's going to tell us what's going on in our region around the issues of equity. We also have a member of the Housing Authority board here to talk with us about City Heights and the impact of relocating all of those residents. And lastly, we have one of our community members here, and they're going to share with you about our LIHEAP program, our water program, and the impact that it's had on them and their family. Stay tuned. It's going to be an exciting show, and we'll be right back with you.
Welcome back. It's been close to 2 years since the deaths of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd sent the nation into a social reckoning, one that hasn't been seen since the Civil Rights Movement. Here at Northern Kentucky Community Action Commission, we want to revisit that conversation to see if the support for the Black Lives Matter is still strong. My name is Kareem Simpson. I'm the Director of Community Services here at NKCAC, and we've invited Chris Brown, a social advocate for here in the region. And in 2020, you kind of made sure that you made your voice aware of what the things were going on, and you actually started a march. Can you tell us why you wanted to take that on yourself?
Well, at that particular time, I had recently seen the video with George Floyd and the clarion call he made to his mother. Well, I'm a mother, and that clarion call just it resonated with my soul. And so someone had to say something and do something. And at that time, the Black Lives Matter movement was kind of taking the country by storm. And while I don't subscribe to the organization, I do subscribe to the phrase. And so that's what sparked it. We needed to do something. We have a lot of voices, and they needed an outlet, an avenue in Northern Kentucky, and it worked out for us.
Nice. So since then, there's been a lot of kind of movement in the community revolving around the Black Lives Matter movement. Are there any other projects that you've done since then?
Well, the birth of EAT, which is my nonprofit, Educate, Advocate, Transcend. We do a lot of organizing from the schools to the city departments, just to try to bring the diversity, equity, inclusion model more to the communities in Northern Kentucky.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that, as far as maybe what school districts you've been working with, or maybe some success stories?
Boone County and Kenton County definitely are reaching out to get that extra leg or jewel of wisdom for diversity and equity. We've worked with the NAACP on a couple of things, and we've had a lot of just regular citizens just wanting to know how they can help, what to do next. Is this, if I say this, is that right? You know, I think it just kind of ignited people's awareness to the age-old story of civil rights that we've been advocating for down through the years. But I am happy with the fact that people from corporations on down are at least having the conversations and asking the questions that we need to find a common ground with equity, especially here in Northern Kentucky.
Now, being a leader in the community, especially taking on this social movement as one of your as a way to make change happen, have you seen organizations and companies and institutions regionally, here locally and regionally, kind of take hold? Are they moving that needle towards social equity?
I think it's about half and half. I have seen some organizations, CAC being one of them, Kentuckians for the Commonwealth being another, that are really taking it seriously and really trying to become the change that they want to see. I think it is a bit of a fad for some, and so it sounds good to say it, but that's okay, because people like us will hold them accountable for, if you say the words, we're going to be there to help you walk that out. So even the people who aren't as serious, that movement has taken the country by storm, so it's kind of hard to ignore it. All I need to do is hear you say, you need help in that area, or you want to have an equitable situation, and I'm running, and I know a lot of other people feel the same way. So I think it's changing. The climate has changed. People are understanding that people aren't as willing to wait another 50 years for change. We want to see the change right now, and so we're taking the steps to become the changes that we want to see.
And change to become equal and equitable, not to ask for special or different
Exactly.
rights. It's just to get on the same playing field.
Let's level the playing field a bit. Well, not a bit. We just need to level it so that we can move forward.
Right.
So yeah.
So if someone wanted to be involved in your organization or your movement, or to help out in any way, how would they contact you, or how would they become involved?
The easiest way to contact me would be let's eat 1865@gmail.com. That's the email. Another way, we've tried to almost make it to where if you are on Facebook at all, you can find EAT. You can join that Facebook page. We have all of our updates there. And reach out to me by messenger. I'm very, very tangible. So I would say the best way would probably be social media, and just look up EAT. capital E, capital A, capital T. And it'll take you right to us.
Well, I tell you what, you got a brand new follower in me. So, well, thank you so much, Chris, for spending some time here today and giving us
My
your
pleasure.
insight, and just giving us a little bit more of information regarding how Black Lives Matter movement is still strong here in the region. We'll be right back.
Early childhood is a time of great growth and development. Northern Kentucky Head Start provides you and your preschool child a stable foundation through services in education, health, and nutrition, including daily meals and social services. And with parent involvement, you'll always be part of your child's progress. Head Start offers preschool opportunities with support for the whole family. To find out if you are eligible or to apply today, visit our website at nkcac.org.
And welcome back. We are excited to have with us today Tom Haggard, and he is a member of the Housing Authority Board. And we're talking with Tom today. Welcome, Tom. We're so glad to have you.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, for sure. We are talking today about City Heights. As we've sure many of you have heard, that the Housing Authority applied to be able to dispose of City Heights, and from our understanding, there's 3 years to be able to relocate all of those families there. And so we really just wanted to talk with you today about what is the plan, what is the plan for those residents and for those families that are impacted by this move.
Yeah, so again, thanks for having me so much. When we look back at the history of City Heights, I think we can all agree that this was a kind of failed public policy to begin with. Many of the families in City Heights obviously experiencing poverty are kind of isolated on top of a hill here in Covington, without access to a lot of the things that the rest of us have access to: employment, education. And so the Housing Authority did make, back in 2019, made this decision to send an application to HUD in Washington, D.C. for the disposition of City Heights. And so one of the things that we did in the lead up to that application was have a needs assessment done of kind of the current buildings up there. That needs assessment came back and showed that it would take about $50 million just to update City Heights to really be safe and sanitary conditions. We're talking about $80 million if we wanted to modernize all those buildings. And so that's just, we don't have that kind of money. When we look at historical funding for HUD and the programs that they administer, we've seen over the past 3 decades that that budget keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's harder for local entities like the Housing Authority to keep up. And so what I'm really proud of is I think we've developed a really good plan to support each and every family that lives in City Heights, and hopefully are going to be able to get them in a much better position to hopefully become self-sufficient and meet their dreams. So we're excited.
Yeah, and so we know initially there were 366 families there. I'm not sure the number right now. But when we look across our region, we know that affordable housing is just really a shortage right now. We work in the area of affordable housing, and we're trying to bring more units to this area. And as we've talked to residents, we've heard that is a real concern. So, how is the Housing Authority and in conjunction with the city and other entities working to make sure that these families are really relocated to a safe, affordable neighborhood?
Yeah, one of the things as part of this whole process now, like you mentioned in the beginning, is going to take place over the next 3 years. So we are going to be able to provide one-on-one assistance with each of those families or those households to really kind of do a deep dive into kind of where they are, both kind of financially right now, in terms of employment, in terms of education, and then be able to not only connect them with other services, but then be able to figure out kind of what is this plan forward. And so we are having great conversations with partners like NKCAC, the Brighton Center, the City of Covington. I think a lot of individuals really coming together to try to figure out how do we solve this problem. When we talk about affordable housing, it's certainly, Covington is not the only community affected by the lack of affordable housing in the greater Cincinnati region. This really is a Northern Kentucky problem that's going to require a Northern Kentucky solution. So I know that the city has been trying to do some work to get other cities on board to be able to be part of some of their programs. The City of Covington is the one who administers the Section 8 program for Kenton County. And so every resident in City Heights who will be relocated will receive a tenant protection voucher. Hopefully it will allow them really to kind of take that voucher and move anywhere in the country. They're not just going to be bound by the borders of Kenton County. But we need landlords to step up. We need more landlords to be able to accept Section 8 vouchers. And I know that the city's starting to do some work right now to see if we can incentivize some of that for folks. And so hopefully, if we have all these partners at the table, I think we can probably find some really good equitable solutions.
That's great. And you mentioned the voucher that they'll be given the voucher to be able to take, and then they could potentially take that anywhere.
Right.
But what type of funding really is available to help them to do that relocation? Because moving is expensive.
Sure.
And so the voucher is a wonderful asset to have, but there's so many other costs that are encompassed when you think about moving your family. So are there going to be any benefits or services to help pay for those things?
Yeah, so the Housing Authority, as part of this relocation plan, is going to provide financial assistance to each family for their move. And so that's going to be dependent on kind of the size of their unit, kind of 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms. Depending on that, there's a fee schedule laid out in the City Heights relocation plan. And so based on that, they'll be able to take that funding and either just take that money to move themselves, or the Housing Authority also has contracted with a local moving company that's going to be able to help folks move within a 20-mile radius. And so we're hoping to take some of that financial burden off the shoulders of our families as they relocate.
Okay, 20 miles, so we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
So if people go outside of that, then they have to find that on their own?
They'll still have the financial assistance. They just when we as you're trying to procure services for an organization, there's only so much you can do, and that was the contract we were able to set up.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
One statistic I read is that 53% of the residents are children under the age of 18.
Yeah.
And so when you think about that and their school districts, have there been any agreements worked out to where the children will get to stay in their district, or is there a plan in place for that?
Sure. So I'll take off my Housing Authority hat real quick and put on my member of the Covington Board of Education hat. It's definitely a passion of mine working with young people. So I think, yes, obviously, we have federal guidelines that we have to follow, especially when, families are becoming displaced or in transition. So, the McKinney-Vento Act will allow us as a school district to continue to provide services to those families, if they relocate out of the boundaries of Covington Independent Public Schools. We have fantastic staff. Lori Eifert is our McKinney-Vento coordinator for the school district. She's been doing that work for a long time and is fantastic at working with families in collaboration with a lot of our community partners. And so I know that the city and the schools and the Housing Authority have all come together to start talking about, how do we do this plan. When we're talking about the relocation process, the Housing Authority has started with seniors first to try to relocate many of those seniors to other housing properties that we have in the city. And so we're trying to wait until maybe summer months to relocate families who have school-age children to hopefully lessen the impact of that for them, so they don't have to move in the middle of a school year as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so you started with seniors, and so some have already been moved, correct? So
Yes.
what is the feedback that you're hearing from residents that have been moved?
So I think at our last board meeting, we know we've I think maybe moved about 4 seniors so far. The feedback from the services they've received has been outstanding. So at least the feedback we've been getting, they love the one-on-one support through our relocation specialist that we have with an office up in City Heights. I think she's also been able to connect them with other external services outside the Housing Authority. I think one of the great things that we have going on here in Northern Kentucky is we are very resource rich with community partners. We have a very collaborative nature, and so I think we're very grateful to partners like NKCAC and others who are stepping up to provide that support with families as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, to hear that, because you just wonder how is the process really working.
Sure.
So once everyone is moved and that property is sold, which it has to be prime real estate, it's up on the hill. So what will happen with the funds once it is sold? Will that go to help those families with long-term issues? Will it go back to the community? What's the plan for that?
Yeah, I mean, that's still a little bit of an unknown right now. We, as part of this process, had to have that property assessed, so we know what that assessed value was at that time. Now, when we're talking 3 or 4 years down the road, once we get to the place where the Housing Authority will sell that, we don't know what that number might be then, but the plan right now is to invest a lot of that money back into the units that we still have available throughout the city. Obviously, Latonia Terrace is a large community that the Housing Authority manages. Golden Tower is our senior living tower, and a couple of other scattered site housing opportunities. So, when we talked about the amount of money it was going to take to upgrade City Heights, because it had fallen into disrepair for so long, we want to take a lot of that money to make sure all these other properties we're able to maintain and keep them viable long into the future.
Gotcha, very nice. And thank you so much, Tom. My last question, so for residents, if they are having issues or concerns or not getting information, we talk with residents all the time, and people hear different things. What is the best means for them to actually get good, up-to-date information?
I think the number one thing is to go into that relocation office up in City Heights. So Diana Strauss is that relocation specialist. She is going to be the one with all of the most up-to-date information from the Housing Authority. But as always too, I always tell folks when I'm talking to the community, you can always reach out to people who are serving on the Board of Commissioners, myself included. I'm more than happy to always talk with residents and make sure that their concerns are being heard by administration too. So.
I love that. So if someone did want to reach out to you or
Sure.
to the other board members,
Sure.
how would they do that?
Sure, they can go to the Housing Authority website. We have contact information on there. In addition, I'm always out and about in the community, so folks can always stop and ask me questions.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much, Tom, for being here. Such
Sure.
awesome information. Again, we are an advocate for those families and want to make sure that we're working alongside you and working alongside the families to help them to go through this transition as smoothly as possible.
Yes, we're very appreciative of your partnership. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and we'll be right back.
What does for rent mean to you? Opportunity, growth, possibility, adventure, stability. NKCAC has created a new program called TBRA. Tenant-based rental assistance works between landlords and potential tenants to securely place people in their new homes. TBRA provides housing assistance like security deposits and rental payments to make certain our community evolves into our neighbors. As a landlord, you can secure stable renters. As a tenant, a stable home. This could be your future. This could be the future of someone you know. You can enroll now or recommend someone who needs housing assistance to our program. TBRA serves Grant, Gallatin, Owen, Pendleton, and Carroll counties. Contact us at nkcac.org for more information.
Hi, I'm Wendy, and I am with Northern Kentucky Community Action Commission, and we have Bernadette Nelson here. And Bernadette is going to talk with us today about some programs that are offered through Northern Kentucky Community Action. Thank you so much for being with us today, Bernadette.
Thanks for having me.
So our two programs that we want to talk about today are the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, which covers heating utilities, and also the Low-Income Home Water Assistance Program that covers water and wastewater. daughter. So you have received assistance from NKCAC through these programs, correct?
Yes, I have used both programs in the past.
How's your family, how has it been beneficial to you and your family?
The program benefits my family in a way where we don't have to struggle with paying our bills anymore.
That's great. That's great. Can you tell our viewers about the process to apply for assistance?
All you have to do is to call your local neighborhood center and set up an appointment to meet with them.
So you feel like it's a fairly easy process?
Yes, it is an easy process to follow.
Good, good. So in your own words, can you describe about how you feel about all the programs of Northern Kentucky Community Action?
NKCAC programs are programs that there's to help people in the need of assistance. I feel that people need to know more about NKCAC and what all they have to offer.
Okay. And not only have you used these programs, but you're also part of one of our programs, correct, Bernadette?
Yes, I am. I'm with the CSEP program.
Okay, and that's the Senior Employment Program. So we love her at the office. If you could use one word to describe the organization, what word would you use?
Lifesaver, because they have helped people a lot of families come out of difficult times and have made their lives more meaningful.
That's good. So how likely are you to recommend these programs to your family?
Oh, very likely to recommend the program to people. Usually when people ask me if I know of any organizations where to get help from, of course, NKCAC is the first one I recommend.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Bernadette. And these programs, if you will just want to learn more about them, if you'll call your local neighborhood center, they will get you fixed up with an appointment on there, or you can go online and set up something through their schedule. And I think you can find all that information on NKCAC website. So thank you so much, and we'll be right back.
LIHEAP is the Low Income Heat and Energy Assistance Program. We have folks out there on fixed incomes, working families, that those energy bills in the winter just are past their capability. They can take care of themselves every other month out of the year, but when they get hit with that $500, $600 utility bill, it's just not possible. And this program keeps their electric on.
I think a lot of people, when they hear about government assistance, they take it as a bad thing, but everybody struggles, everybody needs help. It's really a privilege because a lot of people, they don't know how they're gonna pay their electric bill.
We're looking for individuals who are experiencing a home heating crisis. And I hear a lot, I don't want to take anything away from anyone else. And that's not a concern for us. These funds are out there for everyone to use. You're not taking something away from someone else if we help you keep your lights on.
LIHEAP saw that I had a need, and I appreciate their help because I got heat in my house and it's warm.
I just tell my kids, if we didn't have LIHEAP, we would be struggling. They will always figure out a way to help you. You know, NKCAC and LIHEAP, they will always figure out a way to help you. There is no, we can't help you.
Our agency takes a holistic look at the family. Even if they're not income eligible for this program, we're going to advocate for them. We're going to look for another program that we can supplement. If they had a job loss, we have a job developer. If soft skills is what they need because they have to go back to work, we have that. We find out those things through that conversation and look for ways that we can help that resolution and help them towards self-sufficiency.
Just give LIHEAP a chance. Let them help you with those stresses. Let them in your life and allow them to help you and receive the blessing.
Welcome back, and we hope that you have enjoyed our show. A special thanks to all of our guests, to Chris, to Bernadette, to Tom for being here and just sharing what's going on right now in our community. As we said earlier, this is Black History Month, and please tune into our YouTube channel so you can watch our Black History Walks. Over the last 2 years, We've taken a walk through Covington, we've taken a walk through Newport, and it is available right on our YouTube channel, Northern Kentucky Community Action Commission. Also, we have exciting news. Our gala is coming up May 13th. We will be at Boone County Distilling. We have all types of exciting things planned for that day. Check us out on social media for updates to purchase tickets. You can go to our website, www.nkcac.org, or on social media, we're at NKCAC. We hope to see you at the gala, and we hope that you have enjoyed our show. And stay tuned to learn more about all the exciting things that we're up to. We're here for you. We'll see you next time.